Hello, I'm Henry. Thank you for watching another episode of the cybersecurity sharing by Kris Consultancy. Today, I would like to share with you a website defacement cybersecurity incident that happened 20 years ago. Well, you may say, Henry, hundreds and thousands of websites are being defaced every day. So, what's the point about the sharing? What's so special about this case is that it's actually about a malicious insider who managed to compromise the weakest link. And subsequently, he managed to deface the homepage of the company that he worked for. It all happened with a phone call. One weekend, I received a phone call from a customer. The customer told me that their website was defaced. The website actually, the homepage was filled with dirty languages. So this company is actually a public service organization offering public services to the people living and working here in Hong Kong. Hundreds and thousands or even more customers would visit this website. So imagine that the homepage is actually defaced. Many people would notice, and it's actually quite embarrassing. So the strange thing or the peculiar thing about this case is the web page, the home page of this website is defaced. And then a few hours later, it's switched back to normal. And then a few hours later, it's defaced again. And then it's switched back to normal. So this is not the normal website defacement pattern that we're seeing. So we went in and tried to do the investigation. First thing we looked at, of course, are the website access logs and the firewall access logs. We tried to see if there's any strange source IP addresses that we can find, or some patterns, for instance, scanning the website or doing something strange from the website access logs. Unfortunately, we're not able to see anything. In fact, every second, I think over hundreds or maybe even close to thousands of entries are actually being recorded. It's actually quite hard using the technology 20 years ago to filter through all these web access logs to find out what's actually happening. But then I mentioned about flipping back and forth about the website being defaced, right? So we kind of know the time. So eventually we went in and searched what's happening around the time of the website that's being defaced, and then the time when it's actually going back normal. And we found something interesting eventually. We noticed that there's this program, hh2.asp, being called, being launched around the time when the website was actually defaced. So we asked the customer, what exactly is this program? What is it doing? Why are we seeing it? And the customer said, we're not aware of this program. They showed us an inventory of the web pages and the programs that were hosted on the website, but there's nothing called, well, there's actually the program hh2.asp, but they're not aware of the purpose of it. So we retrieved that program and looked at the source code, and we tried to execute it in a contained environment. And as you can see, it gave you two boxes. You can actually enter something in one of the boxes and then click on the button. What it would do by studying the source code logic is it would first rename the home page so that it has a backup copy. And then whatever is actually entered into the dialog box, it will be put as the home page. And then there's another program called hh.asp that isn't shown here, but if you actually execute that program, what it would do is it would then rename the home page that was originally renamed, it would rename it back to the home page. So what it's effectively doing is it defaced the website, and then later on, if you execute another program, the original homepage will be brought back. So this is actually how it explained the whole episode. how does this happen? How would these programs actually got loaded into the web server in the first place? Later on, when we actually studied this with the customer, investigated it with the customer, we found out that it's actually through the change, configuration, and release management process that was actually compromised. It's actually one of their internal employees who managed to upload these malicious programs in a release batch, and then it was put on the production environment. This is actually how these programs was loaded. And then only this malicious insider would know, and he would just go and execute these programs, and bingo, the website's being defaced. Lessons learned. I think from this incident, insiders could be a source of the attack. Most of the time, yes, it is external hackers or attackers, but you just cannot eliminate the possibility when something happened that it might be one of your insiders. Second, lessons learned. The weakest link of this incident is actually about the process. It's the change, it's the release management. People could easily bundle any programs and files and then upload it into the production environment without being sanitized and checked. The third thing about this case is an attacker, whatever he or she did, something would be left behind. If you are doing hard enough, you would be able to see some traces and evidence and discover what actually has happened. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this sharing and would learn something interesting from this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope I will see you soon again.